I'd like to show you today a new trek that I've invented with help from my trusted guide Karma Tenzin and his friend the horse contractor, who we use a lot for our treks along the border of Bhutan and Tibet. It's 2.5 days to trek from the roadhead in the Paro Valley all the way through to Bhutan's second highest mountain, Chomolhari, in the background. This is an historical place, and this fortress was built in the early 1600s by a reincarnate ruler called the Shabdrung to repel invasion from Tibet. The few local people who live in this remote region have a festival here once a year to celebrate the snow leopard.
Chomolhari, Gari kingi gencha, Kasing simpa macho, Gari nimgi miju.
From Chomolhari we now strike out through the mountains to get to Bhutan's most famous cliff temple, Tiger's Nest. And it was so exciting, it really was. And the local people told us that we were the first Europeans ever to do this trek. The first thing that we had to do was cross the Bonte La, which takes you down into a valley called Soy Yakse. Here there is an astounding treasury. Built by a local chieftain in the late 1700s, it is called Seizong, meaning Gold Fortress. You cannot believe that he managed to build it. It's halfway up a near vertical cliff and supported on just a single gigantic log. One day the chieftain saw a party going up the valley and thought, "I'll go and have a look at what they're doing up there." And whilst he was away, a Tibetan robber stole all his treasure. The party up the valley was a planned diversion, an olden days scam if you like.
So we've just reached the Jimila, and in the background here you can see Serinkang, Chichudrake, Chomolhari 2, Chomolhari, and then in the far distance, way over behind the proud flag, is Kanchenjunga.
From Jinla we come down to Jimding, which are these wonderful yak meadows, and camp there for the night. The next day we cross the highest pass on the trek.
Somanla.
The way on from here was all through completely new territory, and we had no idea what to expect. In fact, the mountains were fantastic in every direction, and we came across all sorts of bizarre things, like a hermit's nest just off the path. There were views of sky burial sites on the tops of 3 mountains, and a very holy lake which is surrounded in legends and which the Bhutanese travel for days to reach on pilgrimage. We had more passes to cross and an ancient rhododendron forest that was covered in thick moss. Almost the last section of the new trail passed under a big series of gigantic cliffs on our way to arrive eventually at a cliff temple called Bumdra. We camped there for the night, thousands of feet above the iconic Tiger's Nest. The next day we descended on the most incredible path, passing on the way several other beautiful temples, and were elated to finally arrive at Bhutan's most sacred place.